Hello, Mark Crossfield here in my hands today. TaylorMade SLDR driver, lofted up to 10.5 degrees of loft. I'm at the moment with this club, hitting up against the Ping i25. This is in a 9.5. Let's give these two drivers a hit. These are two drivers I've been hitting a lot recently, two drivers I absolutely love. We've got GC2 on the floor here. We've also got my Titleist Pro V1X gaming balls. We're going to deliver some real numbers on these two clubs, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why I use the one I do, and also a little bit about why I switch between them sometimes. Let's get stuck in. Right guys, we're going to hit some shots with the SLDR TaylorMade. I've got the 460, I'm at 10.5 loft up campaign. I've lofted up from normally around 8.5s, 9.5 lofts. I've got the Ping i25 and a 9.5 loft here. Now, if we look at the two clubs, obviously big striking difference is you get the racing stripes on i25, which I absolutely love. You get the black matte finish, which looks gorgeous. SLDR, you get a kind of grey, dark grey top, little silver graphics on the back and a line, and you get a silver face. On the necks of both of these clubs you get changeability, much more changeability in TaylorMade, only half a degree each way with i25, where TaylorMade moves lofts a lot. It can move lie as well for lefts and rights. You've also got the sliding rail on the bottom of the SLDR driver. Anyone who won't, I've got mine set 2 away from the blue little dot here. The blue little dot is meant to be standard, but that's actually slightly set in the heel, so I've moved mine 2 away from that, which moves that weight much more with the middle of the club, which I would call neutral, which is how I would want my driver set up. So we're going to hit them both. I'm going to give you some real numbers as well at the end of the video on the two clubs to show you why I use the one I use. I mean, looking at the two clubs, I think the racing stripes definitely win on appearance. I do love the look of those. SLDR is a nice looking driver, but the i25 for me is nice, so I do like the racing stripes. They're both 460 head shapes, these two, so they look very similar. If anything, slightly more stretched back, lower back end it looks at appearance in the i25 over the SLDR, but not much in it. You can't loft, people are getting confused with loft up as well. Just a little side note here. The CG of the centre of gravity of the SLDR is low and forwards, which takes the spin off, which means you need a certain amount of launch with that lower spin to get the optimum ball flights. That's why SLDR needs lofting up. If you go and loft up your drivers out there, i25s, G25s, Titleist ones, whatever, with the CG low and back, which is better for MOI, twist, so you might get straighter shots with a CG low and back over CG low and forward. That's a different video, but it isn't going to work. They're built on kind of different spin models almost. Look, let's see what I mean. Let's start with the SLDR. So this is the driver I am gaming at the moment, even though I am switching a little bit, but I've kind of settled on this one now. Let's just give it a hit. Like I said, I love the look of it down by the ball. The silver face to the grey top looks nice. Let's give it a hit. It makes a reasonable noise, not too loud. It's a realistic kind of noise off the face. It's just the flight. It's such a nice flight on this club. With its lower spinning characteristics, for me, someone who hasn't got any problems in launching the ball and certainly hits a driver okay, so the kind of MOI qualities, I'm not that as interested in that because I'm hitting the middle of the face a lot. Such a good flight. It's such a forward flight with no kind of danger of it looking like it's going to spin up way in the air. Let's give it one more hit, and then we'll compare it to i25. I've actually been higher lofted than this, and I've actually got settled down at 10.5, seems to give me my most consistent readings. Again, that's a highish flight, but going forwards, which is nice, really nice. So look, let's compare that up to i25. So i25, definitely racing stripes for me, I love. I think it's such a good design element. It's subtle. It allows me to aim and see where I kind of want to swing. It does offer assistance. Definitely a very stunning look, i25. It's a slightly different sound. I'd say slightly more high-pitched ping. Say that all the time, but it's true. It does make a slightly more high-pitched ping than SLDR, which I don't mind. I think lots of people actually like. Let's give it another hit. Definitely on looks. I do like i25, it does win on looks. Again, that's a lovely flight on that. You know, this isn't a high spinning driver, it's a good spinning driver. I would just say it's built around a slightly different launch model, if you like. So there are debatable ways to get your optimum ball flight from the companies. And it's kind of which one you want to buy into. This one is also designed for high MOIs with CG low and back, which I understand. And that is a gorgeous flight. A little draw on that one, which is, yeah, nice flight. Okay, look, two drivers, I think i25 wins on looks, definitely looks nicer, but that's just my opinion. Obviously your opinion, you might like the look of the classic more SLDR. Both of them are very nice on shape. If anything, SLDR has a slightly nicer shape and more rounded, but it's those racing stripes and that matte black finish. Feel off the face, very hard to tell, slightly higher ping on the ping to the SLDR. Changeability, I'm not that into. I like my club to be relatively standard as I set it up. I'm not going to move it around, but for some of you, and certainly for the fitters, it can offer some real benefits being able to move the loft to show you how to get optimum ball flight. But once you've got it set, you should almost leave it there. Let's look at the numbers between these two and show you why I make the decision over which driver I'm actually going to settle with for a longer period of time. Let's check these numbers out. Right guys, numbers time. You're going to see that there's kind of different shot numbers. I was trying to get similar strikes of each, and on these tests I wasn't striking it as well, so but these are kind of similar strikes, if you like, what felt similar off the face to me to give you the equivalence. So on the bottom here, i25, we've got spinning at 2,500 revs. These are my real Pro V1X gaming balls. This is a real ball data here. Ball speed 151, launching at 13.7. It's a 9.5 loft, so it's launching that little bit lower than maybe the other driver, which I'll show you in a second. 2,500 spin model, and then it's going at around 257, it's going 257 yards carry through the air, and then there's a roll to go on top of that, which is debatable, uphill, downhill. So I carry's what I'm interested in. Now if we look at SLDR, not quite as good a strike, so I had one at 146, so you can see the ball speeds on the ping are slightly higher. That's not, the face is going to be built to the same kind of tolerance for ball speed. That's going to be much more where I'm striking it on the face. So slightly slower ball speed, so I hit the ping slightly better in the tests. Then I've got a 1,800 spin average, so it's a very different spin model, launching at 15.4, which is kind of up near a TaylorMade 1,700 spin, 17 launch kind of model, so I'm getting closer to it with those. With strike, I think I'd almost hit it. Peak height is actually 2 yards lower than the ping. So it's launching higher, but it's not going any higher at its peak height. And then its average carry for me, 264. It's averaging carrying further. So we're looking at 4, 5, 7 yards extra carry. And then with that lower spin inferior, I should get that little bit more roll. So the reason I'm staying at the moment with this SLDR is I love that under 2,000 spin model. Whenever I get a driver that consistently spins under 2,000 revs, for me, with my launch conditions, I max out carry and I max out roll. Anyone who watches any of the playing videos at the minute, when I'm hitting SLDR driver well, I'm up with people who are swinging faster than me. So I'm maxing my numbers where they're possibly not. So for me, on those two drivers, it's very close. You know, it's not kind of world beating distance. People always think they're going to hit a driver 50 yards further. Yet some people comment and said, oh, I hit this one 80 yards further than the other one. Okay, well, the other one's obviously broken, or you're not hitting it very well. All these clubs are built to very, very fine tolerances within the R&A USGA guidelines. So they're kind of all pushing the boundaries. It's almost a limit to where they can go with clubs anymore. What TaylorMade are doing, which I actually like, and anyone who watches my videos, you know, I'm not exactly their #1 fan. Their spin model works for me really well. 1.8 spin, 264, that's going further, that's staying in the bag. I do like the look of the ping a little bit more, but the looks aren't going to outweigh that extra carry and that better ball flight that I'm getting with SLDR. Look guys, hope that helps. A little bit of talk there about the loft up campaign as well, where a lot of you are getting really confused. You know, Bubba loft down wins the Masters. Well, he can't loft up his driver. It's not built around a 1.8, 1.7 spin model. It's built around a 2,000 to 2.2 kind of 2.5 spin model. It's not built around that 1.8. So you've got to go out and try them, see if you can handle the SLDRs, maybe a little less tolerances on an MOI. So can you hit it straight as the other ones, subject to where you're hitting it on face? Are your launch conditions good enough to to get that ball launching at the right height with that lower spin. Other questions, that's why it's so important that you go and try these clubs. But for me, SLDR is in the bag. Thanks for watching, guys. Post comments down below. I'd love to hear what you got to say. So if you like what's going on here, don't be afraid to subscribe to the channel. Also thumbs up the video, post comments. Love to hear what you guys got to say. Let's keep it social. The more we talk, the more we share, the easier this game will get for everybody. So if you want to find me on Facebook here, you can find me on Facebook. If you want to tweet me, find me on Twitter here as well. Just follow the links, all in the description. Come and join the show. Get active, get involved, get playing some better golf. Thanks for watching.